Hello, Daniel Dye 101 here with the Travel Pod Mini. The Travel Pod is a renamed variant of the Escape Pod since it doesn't really escape at all. And someone said that on Reddit on my post and I agreed with them. So yeah, I'm going with Travel Pod now. It's not as catchy, but it still does the same thing, but in a tinier size. It should, whoop. Sometimes you only get flung a smidge. And when you do, it's kind of sad since, like, oh, I could have gone way farther. But at the same time, you could have gone into the floor if you hadn't activated the servo circuit thing. And pretty much, yeah, that's just how this thing generally works. It uses a motor, which then, when it's set to an angle, it angles these. So they kind of push it like up the front upwards a little bit, so when they kind of glitch they go upwards instead of into the underworld. So that's kind of a neat fact that I found out. And there's a piston which then pushes the top fabrics onto the bottom fabrics, which then causes them to glitch out, which is very convenient since it can also be triggered by a person. And this is kind of just like a simulated person pretty much. But then there's the rope, which is necessary for it to begin the spazzing out, a disconnector, a anchor block, an anchor block, and then your seat. Now, let's build it. First off, you have to have 2 wing panels. Place them with a gap in the middle for you to place your rope, your disconnector, and then add an anchor block, which is set to X, or technically whatever other keybind you use for your anchor blocks. I use Z and X. Then put another 2 sets of wing panels on top of the other ones that you set. Make sure that they're fabric. If they're not fabric, this thing ain't gonna work. And this thing might not work if you're thinking about the rewrite, which is coming out eventually, because I'm not sure if it's gonna have fabric wing panels be fixed by then. If it is, sucks. But so then this entire circuit won't really work the best, or at all. But then you just gotta get a motor too, and then at the end of the motor 2 you just put an anchor block which is set to Z compared to your X, and then with the motor 2 set it to be 7 and 8, put on servo and toggle, but then set the max angle to be 5, and then boom, you have the entire circuit. It's quite simple. But I'm gonna now walk you through the steps on how to do it. First off, you have to press the seat anchor button. You then have to press 7, or whatever button you have set for the moving of the motor. Then, this is in case of, you want to go. So then you press F, which then rams into it, which then usually collides with it. You get sent into the next generation world, which, depending on where you are, can be like this, where there's nothing. The abyss of nothing. There's no up, there's no down, there's nothing. It's just empty void. And that's the mini travel pod. Patent pending. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe
to the official Doctor Who YouTube channel.